The money that we have been handing with, working hand in hand with the different organizations would be like Portage Township Schools. We're using evidence-based curriculum and programming, so that's where our their money went. Peer counseling, students listen to students, and so we're offering them through their funds for natural health versus training. Again, in prevention for high risk, there's negative factors. You want to deal with those negative factors. And those Portage Schools, PAC, Pick It Up, and Boys and Girls Club both address that. Now, testing is going to occur in 3 different ways. One of this is the appropriate objective of alcohol and drug monitoring, and assessments in the schools is to prevent or delay students from taking drugs, or identify those who are using or taking drugs. Cultural change. One of the things we absolutely need is to pay attention to cultural change in Porter County, because there are some really tough statistics out there that show that many adults, for instance, are just fine with students drinking beer, alcohol. They just see that it's not so bad. They see pot is better than anything else. So, there's some cultural issues that we're needing to face. Red Ribbon Campaign involves some things in terms of dealing with substance abuse and with that culture. We work with those who are substance dependent. We work through relapse prevention. We work through aftercare. Now, the second way in terms of drug testing as a programmatic component is to help the patient withstand urges to use drugs and to detect alcohol or drug use early so that their treatment plan can be adjusted. Because one thing we may find out is that if they have a lapse, we've missed something for this client, and we need to then go back, and it gives us a good starting point to find out what was that loss, what led to that relapse. So drug testing is going to be our quicker way to do that. There's a hybrid solution for this too. And it can be for testing assessment and as a programmatic component. And again, that's to help withstand urges to use, to detect use early enough to prevent or delay full relapse. And also to show that there is compliance or non-compliance. It does no good for somebody to get through a treatment and then not know if they've been compliant or non-compliant. So that also adds to our database and understanding of how effective some programs are. It's also, our money goes for forensic field work. For instance, we have alcohol sensors, camera equipment, and canine units, and those are all there to help forensically make determinations of illegal drugs being used or people illegally drinking over the limit. Okay, we want to also put our money towards identification of a specific population, and here we're looking at patrols. And what you find is that there's an interconnectedness. There's a supportive cycle where we're looking at law enforcement, justice, prevention and awareness, and treatment and intervention. So, our money, where did it go? We used evidence-based prevention programs with CAP through Portage Township Schools, where 250 adolescents were a part of this program, and I'm sorry for my back, everybody, and for parental involvement as well. The studies of this type of a program that shows their evidence base is that there's a 64% reduction in drug use and suicide risk behaviors, so it has that added benefit, and 24% enhanced level of problem solving and family support. We used money towards character counts. Again, this was at Portage Township Schools, and they looked to have an increase in positive behavior and a decrease in at-risk behavior. And they decided that one of the ways they're doing this is through an evidence-based program, and they're rewarding effort academically. So if you're making the effort, they're going to catch it. Not everybody is making A on it, but if you see that effort and you reward it, then they can gain extracurriculars. We have found that that's a huge positive factor for students. And not having enough extracurriculars is a negative factor that can exist. And also, they ask them to demonstrate responsible behavior. In looking at a more cohesive student body with natural helpers, 97 students at Porter Township Schools said they had a life-changing experience for their self-report. 65 students in Portage schools with the natural helpers had a unique and positive experience. Portage High School partnered with Choices Counseling Services, and they did an in-school suspension, and this was the second year in a row that the offenses were down by 52%, and 82% of all students completed all required homework and class requirements to receive credit for graduation. The process allows Portage to reach a larger number of at-risk students. Too Good for Drugs is another one that is a evidence-based program that the Porter County Substance Abuse Council put money toward. And that's viewed as a promising program. Picador grabbed the Change Company curriculum. It's the leading national provider of impaired driving curriculum. And they kept 3,700 modules that they were allowed to purchase through funds of the Porter County Substance Abuse Council. And they're able to tailor them based on the group of people, the population that they're dealing with. And this is really going a long way. Boys and Girls Club will tell you that one of the biggest things they get is a lot of at-risk children, and 41 students were offered a membership worth $35 thanks to the grant that they received from the Porter County Substance Abuse Council. Union Township, they had 57% of students in their pool. It was their first year for drug testing. And they had 70 random drug tests, or 13% of their pool for the first year, and there were no positive strains. I'm very happy to report that. Valparaiso had 32 student drug screens. They had 23 substance abuse assessments. They had coordinated efforts with juvenile probation and mental health agencies, and able to get through that year with only one expulsion. So they were working with, well over 32 kids for an entire year, one expulsion. Okay. Extra dollars went towards 20 extra patrols along Porter County, and also in the educational fund and news ads. And I'll show you a news ad a little bit later. We also give officer awards recognition, and money went towards that banquet because these are the people who are in the foreground. They're the ones who are out there fighting and finding those people who are using drugs, who are transporting drugs. We want to make sure that we also thank them for all those efforts that they do. The Porter County Substance Abuse Council has these task forces. Red Ribbon Week, the Drunk Driving Task Force, and they had billboards up, and Holiday Act, which was Don't Drink and Drive, and a March ad about information about the Porter County Substance Abuse Council. If you look there at the bottom on the left, if they look hot, you're too drunk to drive. And that was the billboard that was up. There they are with the banquet. And the Red Ribbon kickoff, and I do believe you're in there. Okay. Intensive outpatient. Portage High School and Choices went together in screening and assessing adolescents. One of the interesting things we found out in the screening and assessment was 87% of those students fell in the range of highly at risk. And 31 of 32 students completed the course in all the requirements. 97% continue to participate in aftercare support and random drug screens. And 100% have continued to pass random drug screens. And again, I want to stress, 87% of that population fell in the very high risk, which was very surprising for me. Care Counseling Services offered intensive outpatient, aftercare, and relapse prevention through the Porter County Substance Abuse Council Fund, and of which you're all a part of. They had anger management, domestic violence, aftercare. Frontline had substance abuse treatment services and service 12 indigent clients who would not have gotten treatment, and 100% completed that 12-week treatment program. Drug testing. We find that that money was used for drug testing for Allison's House and Moraine House. PAC used the funds with their grant for instant tests. Moraine House actually ran a group of different programs like anger management, life skills, mentoring. And adult probation, there were 1,700 probationers reached and held accountable with the camera that was purchased by adult probation, so that when they go to the house, the person that they see, they've got that picture. Individual counseling and relapse prevention. Choices underwrote 100 counseling sessions for Alice's House and Rescue House. Burns Police Department used money for drunken driving patrols. Hebron purchased 4 alcohol sensors, 3 portable breath testers, and a lift. And Belleville Police Department bought 4 of the alcohol sensors, again with Porter County Substance Abuse County grant. The K-9 unit is trained in narcotics detection and tracking, even building searches. And I think we've purchased money over the years for 3. 9? Oh my gosh, it's more than I thought. 3 times what I thought. So 9 dogs. If you look at this, in terms of prevention awareness, these are all the different grants that went out with the funds that you all provided for us. And in 11 grants. In treatment, there were 9 grants that went out. Evidence-based programming, group individual IOP, drug testing and scholarships, and law enforcement, $36,000 went out with 7 grants. If you look at the county, the impact, this is the impact of all the different areas within Porter County that money has provided. I want to thank you. I want to also say to everybody that everyone is welcome to attend our Porter County Substance Abuse Council meeting. This August, it's always the 2nd Thursday of the month. In the summer months, June, July, and August, our meetings are held at 11:30 till 12:30, and we keep a tight ship. It's 12:30. Then from September through May, our meetings are 7:30 in the morning until 8:30. The summer meetings are at the Belleville Police Department, and the ones that happen from September on at 7:30 in the morning occur at the Belleville Public Library. So I wanted you to see, because we're going to be coming back around October sometime. As our grant process is occurring, August 9th, they're due, and so we're trying to make some really big impacts. One thing we want to show you, and Beatrice is going to pass this out, we have our annual year report for 2011, 2012, for you to see how monies were spent back then. And we also have our comprehensive county plan. We have developed a county plan for Porter County and how we've used that. We've also developed now a group worked on, at our last meeting, worked on benchmarks that we're going to be offering for their okay or not okay, and we'll maybe debating that at the next meeting, how that goes. But we've now set the goals, we've set the objectives, we are now setting our benchmarks to show that we're heading the right direction. And we also we also announced that we are going to give, and again, this is through funds that we received here from the council, $15,000 to go towards the schools that are going to be offering drug testing, among the schools. We will not offer more than matching of what they put in, and not that we'll be able to match them at all, but if we can't, you know, whatever we can give to all of them, that's what we're looking to do. So our idea is we want to make a big impact. We're going to make a big impact on drug testing. We've said that's something that we endorse and support, so we're putting the money where that strategy is. Any questions?
You said the schools, you're going to target those schools that are offering drug testing. You mean affecting drug testing? I mean, what are they offering?
Oh, okay. A lot of the schools now are moving towards drug testing. There are students who are either in high school who are either driving and need permits to be able to park at the school parking lot, or are involved in extracurricular activities.
The random drug.
Yes.
I know here just recently, Chesterton High School had a drug test, some kind of drug testing event for the prom. Were you involved in that?
No, that was there.
Prom just ain't what they used to do.
My children are older, but if you found, this is more of a philosophical question, if the students are projected to random drug testing, does it give them an out with their peers not to do drugs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we also feel that the more that get random drug tested, the more impact it's going to have. Because it's not like you heard of one person in the entire year who got drug testing. When you start getting bigger numbers and you start hearing about those bigger numbers, then again, that peer pressure is going to lessen as you start to say, hey, you know, I don't want to be thrown on the team.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is there any reason that they do?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. They give them a crutch to hold themselves up with their peers.
So going back, right, so going back to the $50,000 drug testing program that you brought up just, so the students that are driving, parking their vehicles on school property, and students that are participating in athletic programs.
Any extracurricular
Any
activity.
extra, they can be randomly drug tested.
Yes. And they agree, right, exactly, they agree to that. One thing, the last thing I just want to say is that if you're going to be effective in reaching a community and really bringing about change, it's very complicated in that you have to be multi-layered, you have to do different things to reach different people. We're not going to get everybody with the drug testing, but we're going to get a good number. And you try to do that, we need to reach the parents. We have some plans in the works for that. There's a lot of different ways that we're trying to go in order to get that. The other thing is understanding that if we don't hit prevention hard, then you just got all these bodies down the path, down the stream, just falling, and
Sheriff never.
yeah, and we want you not to be so crowded. And so that's some of the things that we're trying to hit very hard. We've also, through our research, have found out, and through looking at the epidemiological studies that's been out, we found that 7th and 8th grade is going to be absolutely critical in creating a change. So we are hitting very hard what we want to do in terms of bigger impact in the
Ambitious. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Questions? Comments?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Sheriff, you're up. We've got an additional $41,000 for maintenance agreements. This is for Chevron.
Yeah, it's,
Where is the one with Chevron?
no, we're sticking with Tiburon. This had traditionally been covered until a couple of years ago by the commissioners. It's been in our budget. There had different funds, in the Sheriff General Fund for this, and, through the county user fee, the civil user fee, we can cover this quarter payment, but we're going to have to revisit this, and, because there's still going to be about $35,000 left to pay, for the last two quarters, so.
Sheriff, this was initially incorporated, was paid for by the user fee, the cell phone and highway fee.
This was, this has been, we use a variety of methods to cover it. It had been commissioners had covered it. We had covered it, and our budget was reduced by, I think, 29,000 in the area that we had covered this. So we just need to, we've got to find a way to make up the difference.
Why the commissioners not covered it?
Right.
I don't know, I think that's probably because they had other items to cover, that, it's the same issue that we all have, it's limited funding.
What is the total cost? The way I'm reading this, last year, you had 68,000 budget. Did they get you through the year?
I think that got us through the year. Our budget was cut significantly, and there's always, with technology companies, there's always an increase. I think it was in the neighborhood of 5% this year.
So your 13 budget, which is a year, that was cut last year by 29,000, so roughly cut in half. And that's where you're sitting in front of us.
That's correct.
Dave, real quick, the Reader's Digest definition, that the Tiburon system, what does it do?
That is the entire records management system for criminal justice through the Sheriff's Department. It incorporates not only our records system, our police records, our reporting ability to incorporate entire computers, but it also incorporates the jail records management system. So it's kind of the whole ball of wax technology, information speaking at the Sheriff's Department. Oh, no question.
What is the point system is doing something different? Is the points going to a different system than state system? Okay. Further question?
I don't understand why the commissioners just dropped it.
Well, whether it was in his budget last year. I mean, I wouldn't care if I wrote it. And then this year, it was in his budget when we cut. Right.
Well, as I say, we can cover this quarter, but I think
Well, you're gonna need $41,000 to get through the rest of the year. Additional $41,791.
that will get us to the end of the year.
And we can adjust the budget time.
That's pretty good. Considering what this infrastructure is supposed to do, I mean, there's really, there's no decision to be made here other than to motion to approve the addition.
I'll second as we dwindle the general fund, Commissioner said I didn't read that.
That's second?
I said I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Well, I know that everybody's budget got cut, as you well know, but your budget cut was all in this program.
Well, this was.
That's what you decided, that is where you make all the cuts.
Well, no, that wasn't, it actually wasn't our decision, that was, and I'm not sure exactly when that was incorporated. It was, I don't want to call anything arbitrary, but it was, that was the adjustment that was made between the 2012 and the 2013 budget.
Okay. And I agree with Mr. Biggs, and probably everybody, that this has to, it has to be done.
Wait, hold on, please.
Mr. Rivas,
Yes.
Ms. Graham,
Yeah.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs?
Yep.
5-0 in the affirmative.
We have additional reimbursement.
This is from our task force people that work overtime, that get money back.
A motion and a second, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Conover? Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs? Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Okay, Jim, we have additional $2,174.11 medical. This is a refund that was being paid out of jail, general, and going to medical. The 3140 contractual. The medical line?
That's medical hospital.
Okay. Is that how you pay CCS? When you pay money?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're getting this back from, Advanced Former Contractor, and we're putting that toward the bill that we will be able to cover for this month.
Well, we got some news on that, we found this out today. Are you gonna pay, the medical people out of insurance, the jail medical?
We had, I think, in years past, it's come out of jail medical.
That's where this is going?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You wanna do the transfer at the same time, which is basically the same thing, transfer $68,000?
Yes, for money and salaries, yes.
And it's going to go into the jail medical.
Yes, to pay for our.
To pay for
The motion and the second, okay, with that, put them together?
Yeah.
Any discussion? We're going to transfer any additional, same thing, call the roll, please.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Okay, Sheriff, on your, after many hours of digging, and, you have $375,000 in jail groceries, which we found we could transfer over to your medical. It gives you 3 months or so, about $100,000 a month, right? That'll give us 3 months, and I think we're gonna have to deal with the commissioners on an additional to pay that, medical for the rest of the year.
Right, well, again, I apologize because, Edie, who is, our bookkeeper, has been flying blind and weren't sure what.
Well, Vicky's got some numbers, that there was $375 put in a jail grocery budget that hasn't been touched this year. All right, that seems to be accurate, based on that.
And there is food and grocery money in
Right, the 217 has food and grocery money. We didn't know if we could transfer some of that over to keep the medical going until we get with the commissioners. I know you're gonna run out, I think the end of this month, right?
Yes, and that's fine, if it exists, we'd be happy to use it.
Is that an accurate statement by everybody?
Well, 217 and 233 exists under the general fund, if that's what she's referring to, then that's perfectly fine.
No, jail medical, jail
Right.
budget, that's food and grocery, there's $375,000 that's sitting there all year.
Yeah, if you're referring to it sitting under in the general fund or 217 and 233, then that is accurate.
No, we're talking about the jail grocery budget, what line item?
Yeah, there you go. Give me the-
2230.
2230, the 375 sitting there all year.
Yeah, that's okay. Then
So, I mean, we're looking for cash, I'm just throwing that up for discussion. We may have, I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to revisit this again, but you guys wanna make transfer $1,000 over to keep the medical going? Is $100,000 enough a month? Right at $100 a month?
Well, and I haven't investigated that, frankly, recently, but, as long as we don't complete it, I mean, we can always go back and try.
Right, well, we're gonna have to do something to get to the rest of the year anyway. I don't know if the commissioners are gonna step forward to meet if we have to beat this.
I just like to caution for and make a commitment on a reoccurring annual expense of more than $1 million a year, on a temporary basis such as this, especially, I mean, we've had to turn over rocks to find this, I mean,
Well, I agree.
this is a huge commitment.
I agree.
And quite honestly, I don't understand how we sign a contract before we identify the source of revenue, which we're paying for that contract, and that's exactly what we've done. It has a dangerous precedent.
But truthfully though, we did find the money, for temporary. And budgets are coming up.
He has Mickey, jail groceries, in the jail fund? Food and groceries? Huh?
2230 from the jail, 1,1032 budget. Food and groceries, 2230 line item.
To contractual?
Well,
The three, you
are
paying
you
them up?
putting it all into medical?
Yeah,
medical.
oh, jail medical, I'm sorry. What
Let's
number?
keep in mind there's two jail medicals, there's medical, dental, and medical hospital. You just transferred to medical hospital. 3140.
And, I'd just like to make one thing, especially on the heels of what Vicki just said. Now, I think there are some people, some residents in the community that are reading this, following this, as they should. And I think that they're under the false impression that this is something that, the sheriff or Bob Pockrod or Jim Biggs or one of the commissioners have said, just to be a good idea to give, medical treatment to the prisoners and this be the price for that commitment, so be it. This is not the case at all. This is something that we're constitutionally liable to do. We have to do this. We have no choice but to do it.
So what are those two numbers on the right?
2230 to 3140.
That's correct.
Did you get that, Bob?
Yeah, just we have to make sure the numbers.
Second.
As long as we're okay that it goes into medical hospital, not contractual. it's
Well, that's
okay to do that.
3140.
No, do the contractual.
That's where you're paying for the
Yeah, that's what we're paying.
That's where you're paying.
I'm not sure how we fell on that years ago, but it's working.
Well, Lisa will give us by 3 months, and then we'll have to review it with the commissioners and bring, put it in the EDA request on the rest of the year, then we'll address it tonight. Long-term answer. It has to be a long-term answer.
Hey, really quick, where was this money obligated to in the past?
Well, it paid for the savings that we realize now from the unused salaries is money that we, since we no longer have the county medical staff, we had 5 positions. There's one position that's all the other medical positions are part of this contract. So that's some of that money, and then the other was the monies that were paid to our former vendor. So it's apples to apples.
Any discussion? Hold on, please.
No,
Hold on, sorry.
I just wanted to thank Sheriff and Councilman Hopper and Graham and Commissioner Adams and some of your staff. It's been a long process and throw something together very, very quickly. And that was meant please do your submission.
Just to clear the air, we're still not done with the staffing issue. The medical provider has been large, so we're still trying to hash that out. Maybe by next month, we can have a plan on.
And a source to fund this past this year.
Okay. Call roll, please.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs? Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Okay. Sheriff's Garage, an additional $3,972 on truck and auto. Reimbursement from an accident, I take it?
Well, this is traditionally when there are accidents and insurance companies pay for vehicles, the money would then go back into the vehicle fund. There's logic to that.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Call roll.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs? Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Commissioners, we have a transfer of $8,294 from telephone to workers' comp. Motion approved. Motion and second. Any discussion on the transfer? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Transfer carries. EMA, we have a transfer of $76,762.40. The building instructions $1,000,000. Government purchase of pots and fasteners.
Apparently, we contract with them and take care of it.
Well, Sylvia had brought.
I kind of made some
She did
inquiries.
some homework, and I think she should.
I did some inquiries on this today, and apparently there was an ordinance done in 2001, is that correct? And, at least that's what I was told. And that's when, of course, the hospital is still, owned by the county. I'm just wondering if, I'm not saying that we not do this, but I'm wondering if this doesn't need to, since we are paying a pretty good price for the ambulances, if, now that it's a private enterprise that we've, contracted with that, if we shouldn't revisit that ordinance.
I have a question.
I would hope the business that has its name plastered all over it.
I don't know if I knew that.
They're not ours, are they? They're not ours.
Well, I know in the past, we did not, that's not to say it hasn't changed, but because there was an issue that was brought up years ago about, because there was municipal plates on them, and they weren't owned by county government, and so that was changed. Now, that's not, I mean, that could have changed. However, I think there's a whole issue of liability here, if we are maintaining it, we don't own, and they would be involved in an accident.
And you know what, I'm not positive, I can check.
Do we want to table this?
Attorney, you have something to
Yeah, you wanna jump in here?
jump in there? Heard something?
If the cot or fastener failed in an accident, you provided the funding for it, that's.
Move to deny.
What, well, okay, I need a second discussion.
I'll say.
Right, fasteners, what, we strap them down or straight jackets?
I don't know that.
Well, when they're, put them in a bed or in a cot, and you're gonna drive, you gotta strap them down, I would imagine that's what it is.
Also secure the cot, that might be a
Yeah.
fastener.
If Jeremy would be willing to consider to table it in that, I mean, we could have this discussion for another, we may own it. So if you or,
I can call and find out.
you come back.
Yeah, would you
come-
and then I'll find
Yeah,
out.
if we own them, that's a whole other problem.
Yeah.
Right, if we don't own them, then now we have an issue.
Yeah, I'll find out the owner and from it.
You wanna change your vote to the table until next month?
Come on, big guy. Who's smiling? You got it.
I guess.
Now, let's just table this till next month.
And then you'll come back with the
Yeah.
two or three answers that we have.
Well, it's certainly just a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Nah,
What we could also do is have our office, Michelle, send a memo to the commissioners asking for clarification on that.
not really confusing if you think about it.
Who do we own? Who owns the ambulance? I mean, that's just a simple
We're
question.
paying, we are
Well, we
paying,
pay a subsidy to the hospital to provide ambulances, we have ambulances.
surely we don't.
Surely not.
I can't say for sure, but I believe it's not.
You wanna table this till next month?
Call an ambulance, see if we got a place on it.
No, we'll get Valpo.
There's a fear.
Well, if you keep throwing this out, I'm gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna need one anyway, so.
All right, let's table this till next month. Cable franchise, we have a transfer of $75,000 for drainage to contractual. Oh.
Go Nancy.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. When we decided to do this website, we used the GSA, the General Services Agreement, through the state, and we tried one company dealt with municipalities rather than doing something locally. So we picked Civic Plus, Mission Internet, and Discovery Track.
I have one question on it. You were saying that each department now is gonna be responsible for its own
They
page.
don't have to be, yeah. If they want to, they can, and it's very easy, they can even do it from their house if they want to.
Well, there was quite a, booklet or, you know, of instructions on this. And I'm not so comfortable that all departments are gonna be comfortable in doing this.
Well, and that's entirely up to them, but we want to give them the option if they can. If they
So they have to call you and tell you,
If they want
I
to.
see yes or no? Okay, otherwise, everything will just be in limbo. Maybe one department will be up on it, I don't know. How many are up on it now?
All departments are represented.
All departments, so you have done that.
And the nice thing is, they've already, how many, people have put on there for looking at the applications for the county? You talking about the positions opening in the county and people have gotten on?
Just in the last 2 weeks, we had 6 different positions open in the county that we advertised on the website. We had over 800 people view those actual sites. We had about 50 online applications come in, and there was 30 people that had subscribed because part of the website has a subscription service where you can subscribe to get information as it comes available. Open jobs, agenda, yes, open jobs, agenda, minutes, meetings, calendar events, things like that. And they had subscribed so that every time there's a new job posted, they get an email and or a text, free of charge to the county to issue, and free of charge to the person to get it, except for any data or smartphone. And they get notification that that job has been posted on the website. So they don't have to continue to go to the website or to get their ID.
How do you get to that website?
Portico.org.
Portico.
You
I can
said,
show you if you'd like on the.
you said the program on here is, if I apply, or I want to apply, I use my cell phone.
There is a mobile app that can be used for either Android or iPhone and it gives you an actual mobile app for the website. It is not a mobile version of the real website that's kind of shrunk down with no graphics. It's actually designed to work with a smartphone where you tap an icon for news, or you tap an icon for your calendar. So it's much more friendly and usable on a smartphone than a mobile version of the full website.
Well,
And they can sign up for alerts, so like, we just add with the highway.
Right, we just added a new alert option that people can subscribe to for road closures, which they can change the highway is going to maintain. So anytime they have routine maintenance or they become aware of a situation, be it a tree down, a pothole, a railroad crossing, or any traffic accident, whatever it may be, scheduled or unscheduled, you can put that on there, and anybody that subscribes to that will immediately, once that alert is posted, will immediately get an email or a text, and it'll get chosen to say, hey, there's a tree down on this road. You may want to go, or, hey, we're going to be paving on this road all next week, so that people can follow that as that's coming in.
I have another comment.
I have a question. Why couldn't this not been done in-house?
By the time we would buy the software and then have staff to do it, it would have been much more expensive.
What exactly software are you talking about that's so expensive?
The software to do the design, the graphic design, the software design to enable people to log in and make changes. This software that has been provided by Civic Plus gives the end user a look and feel of Word. So they can copy and paste the words, they can update their website, they can upload pictures, they can upload documents. To try and do that in-house would be like reinventing the wheel, be rewriting software that is already canned, buy canned software. You wouldn't.
Why get that you would have to buy the software?
Right.
I just don't understand why we don't have the personnel to staff it.
We don't have the personnel to handle.
Well, I see, yeah, I understand that, and that's what concerns me, is
Yeah.
that we're committing to something like this that has an ongoing, fee attached to it, that's $12,000 a year. I mean, and you don't have to sit here very long to understand that we're in any place but a place where we can afford to grow the cost of running the county government. That's my concern.
What
Right?
is
And the other, what I believe is a logical, way of looking at this, we spent, what is your budget this year? I'm sorry, I should know that myself, I apologize. Roughly, it doesn't have to be. 400,000? 450,000. And my understanding was saying, outside of that, additional 18,000 a year to manage a Facebook page. I don't know how many other departments have their own, websites that they're paying out of their budgets. Where does this end? I don't see, I can't explain the logic of funding. And again, you're up in front of us tonight with an additional of $52,000 for new positions, and we're already funding $300,000, but we're farming out something, in my opinion, is as academic as enhancing our website. We're already paying them, we already have an IT department that we're paying nearly $500,000 a year. I gotta ask, I think it's a wonderful project. I like the look of it, but I gotta tell you, I just don't think we're in a place where we can afford to be spending money like that right now. I really don't. I don't know how we can sit up here and say at budget hearing after budget hearing, you cannot, no sharing, your employees cannot have raises. No sharing, you cannot have a new position. Yes, we'll enhance the website and go into, an annual operations cost involved in 12,000 next year. It's going to be more as we want. I think it's all about priorities. And I think that, again, I think it's a wonderful project, but I just don't, I don't know how you justify it.
Well, the way you justify it is, did you get a full book in the mail lately?
Yeah.
Did you ever
I get about like 4 times a
Did you
year.
ever look at the physical phone book, or did you go online and look at them?
I found it.
Okay, you go online. That's what everybody in 2013 does, they go online. They want to be able to get things from their home. They don't want to have to try and drive in here and find out when they have a close one. Run in and take a photo. They want to get things online. The more things that we can put online for our citizens to interact with government reduces the need here, and it also enhances the ability for the people that are here to work with people that don't feel comfortable using the web. So say Karen isn't comfortable using the web, she doesn't have a computer, she doesn't want to mess with that, she wants to be able to come in here and talk to a live person. She's going to have a better chance of talking to a live person because how many other people are going to get what they need over the web from their home and not be in here and signing up for their phone. So that's what online resources do, is they provide a plethora of forms, information, gateways to other places to give people what they need without having to come in here and talk to people about a staff that's here or add staff that's here. And it's a way for us to communicate with them so that they can let us know things and we can respond back in an automated way, such as jobs. We don't have to post jobs and go try and find people. We've got citizens that are out of work that want to find a job, and so they're right away monitoring how many jobs we have open here. It's our way of interacting with the public in a way that's common in today's.
Well, I understand the answer. I understand that. But at the same time, I just don't, I think before you look at any of it, and again, we're sitting here talking about fulfilling a contract that's been executed before the money was determined clearly where the money was coming from and the money has been approved by this board. And that's, you talk about getting the cart before the horse. What happens is it sets this board into a position where we had no other alternative but to make the commitment because the contract has been executed.
But the problem is we had the money, but then when we changed all the people funds, we kind of screwed everything up, and then we didn't have it. And the reason she wasn't there, she's not in the right position.
This is a transfer between the French and the Steve.
Right, but our drainage, that's where we took it, but we had the money in the trust.
Well, then come back and transfer some money and take out a seat.
I have just one comment. Jim mentioned priorities. Going back to when the sheriff was here, ticket run, for some reason, the commissioners chose to drop that. So now it's
That I don't know why.
Generally, what happens with software is the initial capital purchase is covered by the commissioners, and then the ongoing maintenance is covered by the department. What happened that year that the commissioners covered it was the sheriff ran short of funds, so the commissioners covered it for them, but it was not a commissioner obligation. So the auditor pays the software maintenance for his software, and the courts pay the software maintenance for their software, and so
Okay, I
they just pay
understand.
for them. So that was why the commissioners
Okay,
didn't pay for it
thank you,
afterwards.
that's very helpful.
And that's really, that's what has got my attention here, is that if we, by approving this transfer, we're also obligating ourselves for the maintenance. And we have not identified where that's gonna come out of. We certainly don't have room for it in the general fund. Well, I can't go on, I think, Nancy, I mean, I don't mean to sound.
You're saying they will,
We pay a lot of the maintenance.
right? And you're saying today you will do
Right,
it.
I mean, we pay a lot of maintenance and we do that.
How many departments have their own websites? You know, like,
The assessors have their own website, the GIS has a separate website, the animal shelter has a separate website.
and I think the Opera House is going to their own website.
The Opera House and the Parks Department and the Expo Center and the museum all went in with the tourism board last year to develop a new website. But I don't want to speak on their behalf, but they have expressed some disappointment in the results. They're interested in coming back under the county, to do their website, and they're kind of negotiating that right now.
To do their own website?
To have it back under the county's website, that's where it used to be.
You're saying all these are doing this work?
tourism, those four.
Do you have your own website? No, that's part of the auditor.
He
The
does.
auditor is part of the county.
We have a page on the county.
On the new-
Right, and the treasurer and I have, for the tax payment, we have a separate app that's off the county's website to pay your taxes.
So it will be on the county website?
No, it will not.
Oh, it will not?
Yes,
There's a
it is.
link to it, though, there's a link
No,
to it.
it is on the new website.
Excellent. That's
Well,
it.
what I'm trying to think of is, are we going to be able to do away with some of this, cost from all these departments?
That would be up to those individual departments.
Maybe we should do that, I mean, if we're gonna do this, then we need to cut another department off from doing it, so that we can afford this, and then we've got Facebook out there, I thought that was the way the future we were told by the session was. We're investing in this. But she needs another person, she said she's short-handed, we're handing out $18,000 for a free social media website, we could be using that for another employee, they could have day-to-day things that we.
I totally agree, which I do not understand, and I,
Motion to
you
approve
can,
this, request.
You have a motion to the transfer, to keep Civic Plus paid.
I'll second. I think we have to, the contract's been executed.
Now, the commissioners, Commissioner Adams has said that the commissioners will pick this up. And I do think we need to encourage, through our budget, that other departments will follow to be on this page, so we can do away with.
Well, that's the question I have. The Expo Center Opera House have their own website, like that. Can they be incorporated in the county website without additional cost?
Yes, they can, and several of those departments were trained during our training sessions to do just that. And then there became a political wrangling with the tourism board and concern that the money was suspended by the board, which is the website before, and I just stepped away and said, if you want to come under us, there's no charge, you're welcome to. If you don't, that's fine. We made the offer, but we don't want to try and poach anybody's customers away from them or anything like that, so we left that to those departments.
Okay. Well, something, I think Sharon has said that, that it's going to be this board that's going to decide whether or not it's going to allow funding for those sort of things. And as we just heard from the auditor's office, and the assessor's office, the same thing, is that, I mean, what they're doing, the information they're gathering with those particular sites is critical. So it's, you need to be prepared that if we say no to that it is going to I defy anybody in this room that can tell me any local unit of government in the entire state of Indiana that pays $18,000 a year to manage the free social network. That's how bad it has gotten. Now, there's no indictment on that site, wonderful site. Everyone's doing a good job. I have no problem with that. It's just got a problem with the people.
And it is frustrating for the taxpayers to be shuffled around to different websites, different looking fields, because with so many dangers on the internet, viruses, you click on something, and if you go off to another page that doesn't have the look and feel that you know you're on a government, they wonder, uh-oh, did I just, click on something I shouldn't have? So that's one of the benefits of having the role in the county.
I get all the benefits about the convenience of the residents being able to look at jobs and see what roads are closed. I get that. But I also understand how inconvenienced they get when you start talking about raising taxes. So, that's what we're trying to avoid up here. And you're going to have to grab hold of this and get with the Board of Commissioners and other departments, because it's eventually going to land up in front of your desk, and it's my opinion. About all these additional websites.
I think that's fine. They can come over, we can either maintain it.
And Sharon, I'm only saying that because I'm sitting here with every intention in the world of voting yes for your mission. I understand, I think I've said that to you publicly. I think it's critically important that we stay on top of this IT stuff, because it is the future. I'm saying, I don't believe we can do both. I don't believe that we can have you coming in front of us saying, I need this, and then committing to that, and then having this department, that department saying the same thing. Like, where does it end?
You're just duplicating things.
There you go. That's where I was looking for duplication.
All in favor of the transfer, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Transfer carries. I think maybe, is it safe to say that this board feels pretty strongly that all the websites should be underneath the county's control?
Yeah.
Maybe we could make that feeling known among the animal shelter, the opera house, and anybody else that comes sits in front of us with the money.
Well, yeah, and it's about I think it's a great record, but as important as that, I think this board needs to know, for you to do that, what you need to have. Because it's not responsible for us to say, okay, now you take over what the other end, and then you fumble and drop it.
The other doesn't have.
No, I'm talking about the separate websites.
Okay.
Opera house.
Honestly.
You sure you don't have one?
As Sylvia mentioned,
Sure you don't have one?
Park department.
Assessor.
Assessor, yeah.
And Sylvia mentioned, there was some concern about people in the department having to maintain their own. There's not a lot of maintenance that happens. There's not a lot of change that happens, if you have an assessor, or an auditor website, I mean, it's, here's our address, here's our mission, here's what we do, here's our contact, and there's not a lot of changes. The changes that happen are when they maybe want to upload a few documents or some information, and those are very simple to do. So either his staff can do it as part of their process, or they can send in my staff to do it. It's not a labor-intensive process.
But it all has to be funneled out of the same fund, so we understand what IT is costing.
It's much easier to manage.
Yep.
Okay. Sharon, draw me up here. Thank you. $52,000 for a new server administrator.
And just had to make some notes for to turn that up. There were some concerns that were brought up, I believe, about IT eliminating staff, getting raises, and then now coming back and asking for additional staff. So I kind of wanted to illustrate, and lend some weight to those discussions. In those 5 years, of course, technology has grown by leaps and bounds and changed, and now we require an additional employee. Go back, though, in 2010, which is approximately 3 years ago, during budget, we actually changed the job description because we needed another staff person, but we were able to change the existing job description that was open and increase the salary to attract a proper staff person, and we were able to reduce other line items so that our overall budget did not increase to allow for that additional need. Then now in 2012, we've had numerous projects that have come up and numerous changes in technology that have caused the need for this new staff person. The VoIP phones, we did save the county $200,000 a year in the telephone budget since 2009, and you can actually look at the commissioner's budget that has been reduced or has been transferred out for other projects that we included funded. We had increased IT staff for court reporting software. The courts all had court reporting equipment. They all were paying outside maintenance contracts to support them. IT now supports them, so they are not paying those. We also take care of backing them up. Site. We've had the addition of a new 4D court. Sunset Hill Farm has, I believe, 5 computers at their site that was never there before, was taken care of. The Expo Center and the Opera House were both taken care of by Brian Schaefer. When he left and the new staff came in, there was no more IT support that fell to the IT department, so we had to take over those 2 entire departments. The museum has now been brought in as the county department. We're taking care of that as well. And with the changes in technology, you're seeing more and more software applications that are run on the internet. They're not run as a mainframe, they're not run on local PCs, they're run over the internet. When you run a software application over the internet, you run into problems with the browser. So if you're using Internet Explorer, or you're using Google Chrome, or you're using Firefox, sometimes you get weird errors, you get, your screen doesn't show up right, you get all these different issues. And when those problems occur, IT is the first point they call. And what ends up happening is we end up calling the vendor and say, look, here's a problem, here's what's going on, and they go, it changed me, it's not us, you need to call Microsoft, or you need to call Firefox. Well, that can't happen. So then we end up having to try and troubleshoot what the problem is, get it resolved for the user, and it changes daily. Not only that, we get probably 10,000 virus emails an hour that get bounced back because of our filters and whatnot. But of those, some of them come in. I mean, we get them in usually once a week. Someone gets a virus that we have to take care of. So for 10,000 an hour, to get one in a week is pretty good. And that takes manpower to go take care of that computer and clean it and get it reset, get that user back on the road. And sometimes it spreads to an entire office or an entire building, and we're out of commission for a week at a time. Or if we have a big storm, we'll lose communication between buildings. I mean, it's really become, to have the proper staff in IT, it's really become mission critical in these departments. If they can't use their computers, they can't do their job. And an entire office, an entire building can do that. I mean, you could even have a situation where voters can't even call 911 because their phones don't work because they're down. And we need to have the staff to be able to react to those issues. So that is why I totally understand the situation that we're in. You know, I know that everybody else needs people as well, but I'm, begging for consideration for an additional staff person to keep these departments working. I mean, right now, Ron mentioned that the courts are going over to new software with the state. That's actually a jeopardy of being delayed because we don't have the staff to upgrade the computers for the courts that have to be upgraded to the latest versions in order to accommodate this new software. And that's a very real possibility. And I've gotten 2 emails and calls from judges saying, look, we know you're doing the best you can, but we are dying over here. Our computers are so slow. They're so old. We need the upgrade. And I say, I understand you're on the list. I promise you we're getting to you as soon as we can. And then a virus hits or, something else happens that diverts our attention, and we're constantly fighting these fires and can't get back to the actual project that needs to get done to help people do this.
Well, Sharon, I definitely think that there's several areas to kind of go. We need to be coordinated. Your department's not one, and it's because of the advent of the popularity of the technology, and that it's clear that we haven't done anything here in a while. I believe the council back in 2008 probably did the bankruptcy. We all, the customer, and but we're stagnant here while the world moves on, and it's just getting more technologically based, and
on your discussion, Sharon, I think why you ran into a little bit of a problem with this for quite a while with me, is that it has been 2.5 years since the budget of 2011, budget hearings that were having. And you did appear before us, you know, I have your notes right here, where, you even said, Mrs. Johns asked you, you're taking one of your people, you're changing, you're gonna be one less, correct? And, you said that's correct, I'll be one less physical person. Mrs. Graham, are you comfortable with that, or promise? You said yes. Mrs. Stevenson, my question is, are you gonna come back in another year or two saying that you want that person back? That's been hard for me to, it has been 2.5 years, but I know things have changed in the past 2.5 years, and I know that we must move on. But everybody, we all know that what we say is on record, and, but I do understand your situation, and I understand things do change and grow, and that's always gonna happen. Things are gonna change, things are gonna grow, but, and with that money, you did, make raises.
Well, and if I could address that as well, I mean, if I wouldn't have cut that person then there would have been, that money would have been spent.
Well, I'm just saying, well, it was used though to give raises.
Not all of it though, a very, very, very small percentage of it.
Well, I
That's what I'm
have no
saying.
idea, but-
Right, but that's what I'm saying is a very, very small percentage of it was used, and if I would have kept that person there, that would have basically been money wasted.
Quite
for
truthfully,
employees.
you're not the only department that has done that.
Right.
There's been several that, you know,
Right.
decide they don't need somebody and chop up their salary and they all get raised.
Right, but the case was not that the salary was chopped up and given to other people, so
Okay.
right down the salary of $2,000.
I'm ready to vote on this, but, you know.
But I just want to comment that I think we feel that if you have enough help, is it not unrealistic to have all the website under the county's control? And eliminate, I'm assuming, the Opera House takes some things, maintain it, et cetera, all the fees that are flying out the door. We might be able to get, I mean, I'm not gonna say this may be a zero-sum game, but it might be a wash. Call roll, please.
Mr. Paparad,
Yes.
Mr. Biggs.
Yes.
Mr. Rivas,
Yes.
Ms. Graham,
Yes.
Ms. Conover.
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Thank you.
And just to remind you, part of the salary, possibly a good up to 50% would be reimbursable with the 40 money in the state, so that's my blessing of both. And the additional appropriation that's going to come up next now, they're going to reduce from 39 to 20 due to the time delay of approving it, so it only is responsible for the year.
Right now.
It was 39 when I originally
Right.
asked.
Oh, it's advertised.
You gotta reduce it. You just can't reduce.
Which is going to get to that.
Motion, the motion and the second, okay with reducing it to 20?
You may want to lead with that next time, that may be
The motion was to reduce the additional to 20,000 instead of 39 was advertised, and the second agrees. Call the roll on that just in case.
Very good. Mr. Biggs. Mr. Rivas.
Yes.
Ms. Graham.
Yes.
Ms. Conover.
Yes.
Paparad.
Yes.
5-0 in the
Thank you.
Sharon, could you do us a favor, just real quick, just do us a favor and try to give us a snapshot of what you see coming, you know, in the way of technology as it applies to what we do here in county government, that we can either invest in to make things more efficient here, cost efficient, or operational effective.
No. Put it on paper, send us an email. Drug court grant, we have an additional $1,000 to training and ed. Anybody here from the drug court? Oh, we got money from the state.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the additional. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I've always been in favor of these grants because it's, like you say, you're getting money. It's just, sometimes some of the strings that are attached to them, I hope that, you know, I'm willing to vote for it.
Call roll, please.
Mr. Rivas.
Yes.
Ms. Graham.
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Good vote, Pat.
How can you pass up money for the states?
ARD, Key Fund, we got a 144 for mediator, goes down in salary, $7,208, $6,500. The secretary go from $0 to $16,000. I'm sure we're all anxiously awaiting to hear that story.
Secretary, I don't know anything about the mediator, but I can tell you about the secretary. That's to have our part-time secretary go to full-time. The money coming out of the mediation grant, the report grant. She's going to be helping with, she's going to have increased duties, with the mediation, scheduling, paperwork, implementation strategy, project plan paperwork and enroll, and support paperwork. The money, not general fund money, grant.
Right, except this person will now become a full-time employee of the county receiving, all the,
Not be, she won't be, she'll be full-time, right, not be the county.
oh, she will not be entitled to any county benefit. Ever.
No, she won't be.
She will never be.
Wait a second, she's not taking it or she wasn't?
She's not taking it
That's by her choice.
by her choice. I don't know how it works.
And all of this salary, the 60 is incorporated by the grant. It's not coming out of general. A motion to approve.
Motion to second, any discussion?
I just feel like, where do you end when you add people?
It's all being paid by the federal grant.
Well, I agree with that 100%, not to be argumentative, but in 2 years when this grant ends, the person will get the grant. As long as we're okay with that, because that's what happens.
No, I'm not okay.
Well, that's what happens around here. When all these grants run out, and they will run out, then we disapprove the employee because they'll find other duties for it, et cetera, et cetera. It happened.
The plan, if the money runs out, then it should go back to part-time. Pay for it.
Okay. All the roll.
Ms. Graham?
No.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad? Mr. Biggs?
Yes.
Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
4-1 in the affirmative.
Okay, Family Court Donation Fund. Same thing, isn't it?
Yep. Just grants too?
That's okay. We're not taking that.
And that must be for the same position. Yeah, I know that was the same position.
So this is a whole new position that you've been put together with two.
Well, she's the part-time secretary going to full-time, so we do both grants.
Yeah, it's not an-
For
it's
the
not a-
ADR grant.
Not a new
to
position at
pay.
all. It's just
Yeah.
going from part-time to full-time, being funded with federal funds.
And then you do two grants.
And donation. Well, like she said, if we get into a position, a couple of years from now, that,
We go back to part-time, that's it.
some of these people on this board got minds like crabs.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's a
We
motion.
got a motion from Mr. Bates,
Thank you.
and a second from Ms. Conover. Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Paparad? Mr. Biggs? Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
I'm going to stick with no.
4-1 in the affirmative.
We have, the extension office couldn't attend tonight, we have an additional $5,000 to hourly.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Got a motion? We got a second? Any discussion on this additional? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Paparad?
Yes.
Mr. Biggs? Mr. Rivas?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
5-0 in the affirmative.
Second reading, please.
The following additional appropriations are approved tonight at your consideration. The Porter County General Fund, a total of $75,106.41. To the Porter County AADRP, $15,744. To the Porter County Drug Court Grant, $4,000. To the Porter County Family Court Donation Fund, $17,436.
Motion on second reading.
Motion.
Motion and second, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Biggs.
Yes.
Mr. Rivas.
Yes.
Ms. Graham.
Yes?
Ms. Conover.
Yes.
Mr. Poplar.
Yes.
5-0 affirmative.
You're not Scott, so you
Mr.
can.
McClure didn't tell me to report anything, so I don't know.
Okay. Anybody got anything? I got a couple items to touch on.
I just wanted to ask, our staff, have everybody turned in their budget?
Oh, department?
No?
No, it's lacking.
You're missing council and Ms. Lager.
Really, the auditor's budget's not there.
It is not.
All right. Find that hard to believe. Bob, we never got a salary ordinance, we really do need that.
No, and, yes, and I actually, the fault lies with myself. We have it done. I need to review it.
Okay.
We've had, you will have it, I promise you, sir.
We got, I want to check the dates, we got 11/12 of September, 11/12/18/19, 25/26, October 2nd, the budget. Does that work with everybody? I know it's, we're just
Can
rolling.
you say that one more time?
11/12/18/19, 25/26, and October 3rd.
Today it is.
Today I said that. Well, we're trying to pin this down as it gets a little closer.
25, 26 in October?
No, September. And then October 2nd. I'll start at 5 o'clock. We're gonna send out the, you know, what we're gonna do, and we're trying to pin down the dates.
5 o'clock.
First reading will be September 11th, then we dig in the second reading on the 12th, then the following week 18/19, and the following week 25/26, and finish on October 2nd.
When is, non-binding review?
We're gonna do that on the first reading. We're gonna do that on September 11th. Does that work? I mean,
For now.
okay. Well, we got to publish dates, so we're gonna have to do something. Anything else?
Motion adjourned.
Out of here.